striving to find the ways to achieve the ideals of unity, peace, and brotherhood that Christmas represents, so we as a state can form a more perfect union. This Christmas, I hope that we might learn from the world's greatest gesture of reconciliation, the gift of Jesus Christ, as a guide for how we too can bring peace to our corner of this earth. 2,000 years ago, just as today, no one had a greater reason to separate himself from mankind than God. God had created mankind for companionship, then watched as we turned away. He had created perfection, then watched as we left it in ruins. But at the very hour when God should have washed his hands of all of us, he gave us the greatest gift of all mankind. It was the ultimate example of unexplainable and unconditional love. And it crossed the greatest divide that has ever been, beyond all logic and reason. God made peace with humanity that very night in Bethlehem. Christmas reminds us that we're called to make peace, to make that same peace with our fellow man. And thankfully, we were given the perfect example of how to do just that, in what C.S. Lewis called the divine life operating under human conditions. Jesus spent his life showing us how to love our neighbor, even those who hate and plot against us, even those living in disease and poverty, even those from cultures and lands that are different. Because the angel proclaimed, "Fear not, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people." The gift that first Christmas was for all of us, not just a select few. This Christmas, our gift in return should be to share that love as one people under God. There's a Christmas carol that many families sing every year, and probably yours does too. It's called "Good King Wenceslas." And the legend goes that St. Wenceslas was a duke back in the Middle Ages. One night he was standing at his castle window watching the snow fall when he saw a man struggling through the storm. The king grabbed his young page and they set out to help the man. But the blizzard started picking up and the boy was scared and ready to turn back. Wenceslas was determined to forge ahead, so he told the boy to follow close behind him. That's when something miraculous happened. In every footstep the king took, the snow started melting away and green grass showed through. The boy discovered that as long as he kept his feet in those tracks, the path was clear and he walked in warmth. God has given us human footprints to follow. Rather than looking down on the world from his castle window, he walked the path for us, for each and every one of us. And it leads straight to those in need, to the least of these, to our brothers, our sisters, struggling to make it through life's hardships. It's the path that the star first showed us 2,000 years ago, the path that Christ walked. And it leads in the direction of healing and unity, and finally, peace on earth, goodwill toward men. The first family, we wish you a very blessed holiday season, to each and every one of you and to all of South Carolina. God bless you.
Thank you, Governor Beasley, and we appreciate your outstanding leadership of the state of South Carolina. And having a 3-year-old grandson who stays wired, I'm amazed that after a 6-hour trip from Alabama, he lasted this long. He did very, very well. And now the Carolina Choir will sing Gloria from Gloria by Vivaldi. Following the Carolina Choir presentation, please join us in singing It Came Upon the Midnight Clear. The Carolina Children's Choir will now perform Heaven Bell A Ring. And I know we'll enjoy this special treat. night, holy night. All is calm, all is bright. As the handbells ring the first verse of this favorite hymn, we will come in and hum the second verse with them. And then on the third time around, we will sing the first verse of Silent Night, Holy Night. And during this time, the lights will be dimmed, and then Governor Beasley and his family will light a Christmas tree both here and on the State House grounds.
And Matt and Katie would come up. Matt? The first family invites you and to join us in flipping the switch, the infamous carol lighting. This is a family that we should take great pride when we see youth in America turning to so many different problems. It is so good to have role models. As the Morris family is exemplifying for what we should excel for in South Carolina, with Matt, who has done so much in the area of organ donor and education and information, and Katie, who has been working to bring about youth volunteers for organizations, particularly here in the Columbia area, and of course Meg, who nominated both, is that right? And my wife Marywood had just had them over to the governor's mansion as our South Carolina heroes. So we are proud to have you here, and we now wish for you to take the honors of flipping the famous switch. Girls, come over here, watch. There he goes. Well, that's it.
There it goes.
There.
Yes. And now the climax of our program. The Carolina Choir, the Columbia Choral Society, and the Governor's All-Star Chorus presents From the Messiah, composed by George Frederick Handel, the Hallelujah Chorus, accompanied on the organ by Louis Shira. And then the Reverend Alex Evans of Pickens Presbyterian Church in Pickens, South Carolina, will pronounce the benediction. The Hallelujah Chorus. Let us stand as we listen